Good evening and welcome to another RailSim Gamer video. It's been a while since I've done a tutorial, but today we are actually doing a Train Sim World 5 tutorial prompted by the recent release of the Manchester Airport commuter route, which I have been playing with for the last few days, and it's taken me a while to get into to fall in love with Train Sim World, being a bit of a Train Sim classic diehard, but I think this might just push me over to the side of the Train Sim World. In particular, in today's video, we're actually going to look at something which is, I'd say, a new feature in the Train Sim classic Train Sim World sort of world, and that is the weather. Train Sim Classic, if we're going to compare them, which is a bit hard to do, had a very questionable weather system at places, but got better with the development of the enhancement pack, cloud enhancement, weather lighting enhancement by Armstrong Powerhouse. However, Train Sim World is a complete polar opposite to that, and it's been hit so great and so well done, it's now inbuilt into the game and you don't need enhancements for it. In today's video, we're actually going to look at how to set the weather to something that you actually want. I'm going to set the scene. We've all been there, especially if you've been Train Sim World a lot. You pick your scenario and your route, you're like, oh, this is going to look great. And then you get on, you're like, there's something off about this route and about this scenario, and it's normally the weather. I don't know if anyone else can relate to that, but that's just me. So I'm going to show you a bit of a cheat, a hack, if you pardon that word. I know it's overused. On how to set the weather to something that is it's going to bring out the best in your game. And the first thing you're going to actually want to do is go to the main menu, and actually, or even before that, probably settings, and adjust these settings. I'm not going to adjust these ones on here because I've already done it in a previous video. Link is in the description to that, which tells you what settings to use. But I'm going to show you how to change the weather and sort of experiment different weather types that that you could use and take forward into your game. So in the main menu, we're just going to select a random scenario. So we'll actually use the Manchester commuter because I'm not going to lie, it's now my favourite. The class 323, and we're just going to select a scenario. We're going to start at Audley Edge. We're not actually going to drive anywhere, to be perfectly honest with you. So that is just so we can have a bit of an experiment. We're going to pick a time of day. We'll do the 1712. Very good scenario if you haven't done it. And we're going to ignore everything on this side, just here. We're going to let it load. We're going to go driver, despite not actually driving anywhere. And once it loads, we're going to have a look at the weather and how to change it, other than the settings just seen there. So we are now inside the scenario, the 1712 service, and to be fair, the weather does look okay. It's just such a well done route. Alan Thompson Simulation have absolutely smashed this out of the bag, as ever, and absolutely thoroughly enjoyed playing this one. However, you're noticing the weather, you might go, yeah, it's alright, but I want it slightly changed, and I want to sort of experiment with it where I haven't got to keep going backwards and forwards, loading into new scenarios. And to do this, we're going to actually use a feature that's a bit of a hack. We're going to use photo mode. So we're going to click escape and go to photo mode. You'll notice mine, it blurs for some reason like this all the whole time, and it doesn't matter what settings you change over here, it doesn't actually change it. So we're actually going to go to manual focus and click T. Ignore the whole camera thing. That's not what we're here to do. We're actually here to change some of the settings and experiment the weather. So the first thing we're going to do is go to the visuals tab just over here. So it's the eye icon. And you'll notice that you're going to be given a date. So that's July the 23rd, week number 3, which is ours, and all these weather presets. So the bit we're going to look at is how to change this weather and how it looks different in different seasons. In one of my videos earlier today, we're driving a foggy evening. It is actually this service, 1712, but we set the weather to October. And it was a perfect weather, in my opinion, and I'll show you how I did that. So we know it's 1700, so we're not going to change that. And we're going to change it to October, which for England, it'd be autumn, or if you're in America, it's what you call fall. And we're going to see how the weather looks different. So if we just move this along here, so we're going to go to October and we're going to do a second week, and it's probably going to go a bit foggy. Maybe no, we'll go second week, just like this. And you'll notice, first of all, the evening obviously has changed. The whole scenery's changed actually, and this is the start of the weather. I like this weather, but you know, you can experiment a bit more. So what we did earlier, we put fog density up. It can be a bit hard to drag, just like this, and it's just going to load it just like that. Maybe not that much fog, and just like that. And that again changes the weather, and it will allow you to experiment. So next time you choose a scenario, you can change the weather accordingly without having to go backwards and forwards. I'm going to participation. Precipitation is how much rain is in the air. So if I put this all the way up like that, you'll notice. Do I mean precipitation? There should be rain. I'm not sure why that isn't actually. I think I need to put wetness up as well, just like this. And you'll notice, I think to be fair, it's that bit there that's causing some of the issues of the rain. Yeah, I can just see it there. So if you move these about, you'll notice that it's now raining. Also, you can't see when it's foggy. So precipitation is how much rain there is. So obviously none or a little bit, versus a absolute downpour. Wetness is how shiny stuff looks. Obviously, the wet, it's shiny. So if you look at the track in particular here, when we change that, it does this. Obviously, snow level speaks for itself, and cloud level. So earlier when I did it, I actually had fog density up to about here, and I think I just adjusted the time. So if we move it a bit later in the day, you can see it's dark, earlier lighter. And by doing this, although it's not going to change it for this scenario, you can get an idea how the weather system works and plan it correctly to how you actually want it in future. So obviously 2 a.m. But yeah, if we now move a bit more through the actual seasons, you can see how they're all different. You know, maybe let's turn fog density down, off. So obviously February, second week, obviously very cold colours. And we can just change stuff here. You can have snow in February if you want. Not often you get snow. But I think that looks really good in itself. I don't know what you all think. But yeah, this just gives you the whole kind of grounds to go through and change all these settings, basically on how you like it. I'd say that's if that makes sense. So you can just change it, and you obviously do game time just here, and it can just knock the game time along. But yeah, so say we wanted these settings now in a scenario, you just kind of roughly make a note of them. So wetness is for snow and cloud, and it's for the second week of February. So if we came out of this, it will reset back to normal. But then if we went back to our main menu, yes, it's going back to our main menu just here. And then to trains, and we're going to pick that same scenario, but we're going to do it in February. And it's a 17, I think it's actually 8 o'clock because it is early in the end. So if we go 8 o'clock, probably actually want a Stoke-on-Trent one. And we're just going to change this to February, so like that. And you can change this here, or you can go to dynamic and custom weather. Custom weather obviously lets you set it, had no fog. No precipitation, we had snow up here, cloud up here. Wind strength again, that just adds noise really. Let's have it like that. And you'll see how the settings are replicated from what we just experimented with, which makes it quite cool, I guess, to experiment. They might be slightly different if I haven't set them exactly the same. Yeah, actually, do you know what? They're not too dissimilar. I think I might have actually picked a week earlier. Hence the sunlight, but actually this weather looks really cool as well. So yeah, that is how you set the weather, and you can experiment with it, so you don't have to spend loads and loads of time going through selecting different weather patterns, because that can just take time. And yeah, I guess that is kind of everything I wanted to show you today. So if you found the video helpful, please give it a big fat thumbs up, comment below, and subscribe. We are now so close to that 1,000 mark that we could just get over the edge. It means I can then effectively monetize videos, get ads, and the way I know people are going to go, oh, it's just making money for me. It's not, because that means I can invest in content, bring you more up-to-date content, and help you show the best of Train Simulator, Train Simulator Classic, Train Sim World 5 for free and beyond, and showcase the developers that I know work very, very hard. For example, Alan Thompson's simulation worked exceptionally hard on this route, and it's paid off. It's just fantastic. And without further ado, I'll catch you in the next video.